using platforms like this to be able to communicate, share, and I really want what I do to make a significant impact to people who can't read books or attend seminars or at least go to any live event. So if you have any question, just comment it below, and we'll try to answer them to the best of, I guess, my abilities as well. Hey guys, so I'm back in Manila. I just arrived a few hours ago coming from Taiwan, which was an amazing experience altogether. To those who attended Stock Smarts in Taiwan, thank you so much, guys. I really had an amazing time with all of you there. So I hope that whatever we talked about is something that you can implement and use when you start trading and investing in the markets. Then I landed around just a few hours ago. Then I headed straight to Tagaytay for FWD/SGA group, where we did a couple of talks, where I did an hour and a half's worth of talk, inspiring and encouraging financial consultants on how they can actually share what's happening to the economy and how they can actually win and also make money, given that this is happening in our economy as well. Because I really believe this is still one of the greatest times for people to make money, regardless of what's happening in the market, because money can be made wherever you are. You just need to know what you are doing. So now I'm opening the firm. I'm waiting for my wife. She's at her office. I don't know what time she'll arrive, but of course I always want to add value to you guys. I want to be as productive as I can be, and I want to build as much content for all of you. And I'm using platforms like this to be able to communicate, share, and I really want what I do to make a significant impact to people who can't read books or attend seminars or at least go to any live event. So if you have any question, just comment it below, and we'll try to answer them to the best of, I guess, my abilities as well. Doing stuff like this also is under the context that I don't know everything. I'm not a master of everything, but I'll try best effort to give you as much value as I can give. Ayan, we now have people joining us. You have Melson. Is this Melson Manalo? Hello to you, top fan, Melson Manalo. Then you have Manong Japs from Japan. Hello and good evening. May Galvan, hello to you, also top fan. Christine Garcia, hello. By the way, guys, so that we have context as well, please comment from what city are you from. So I guess I get to answer you from that context, so that at least I know who's viewing as well. You have Don Morantes, good evening to you. Willie Calma from Bahrain, good evening. I've never been to Bahrain, no, but I heard it's an open city, similar to Dubai. Then you have Nanette Jean, hello to you as well. Hello to you. Then you have Well Karagan from Doha, good evening. Angel Garcia, Ramil Sanggalang, top fan. Mikey Seredrica, hello to everyone. Julius Manalo is asking, hi Marvin, still 8,100 and 5250 year end. What do you mean? You're talking about the market, the target for the market. No, here's the thing. The problem with the PSE right now is really there's no catalyst that will cause it. There might be some economic data that will be given out over the next few weeks that could either steer it upward or could just make it go course to where it's going. So again, if you've been watching the previous videos in YouTube, it's what will happen to inflation, interest rates, our GDP, and corporate earnings is what will actually trigger it. But that being said, if you also watch the other video I posted in YouTube, it's basically the market, no, we have our consolidatory resistance at the 7,500 level, meaning if we don't break out from that, any shot, any semblance to a breakout from 7 or take us out of the downtrend is not yet possible. Please remember, we are consolidating. We've reached the point where the market has stopped dropping, but the overall sentiment is still pretty much bearish. So without any evidence, and if you've been following the videos that I've been doing now, I don't really guess. I don't really speculate. I don't really want to forecast. That's why I love technicals so much, because it's me using the charts. It's me using data, the numbers as it truly is. So if it will be at 8-1, as of this point in time, there's no evidence yet. If it will be at 8-1 still from a fundamental perspective, still very, very expensive. Meaning also there's no evidence for foreigners or institutions who would want to buy us at a relatively higher price as well. Next, you have Will Karagan from Doha, Qatar. Hello, I just came from Doha. I hope you're a reader. I hope I met you. If I didn't meet you, or if I didn't remember you, kasalanan ko. Maraming isang galang hello to you. Mikey Seredrica, hello. Kai Doring from Quezon City. Ryan Fuentes, hello. Leon Garcia from Bulacan. Jerry Gumab from while on bus watching from Malolos, Bulacan. From how far are you from? Terukay Maktal from Taiwan. I just came from Taiwan. Amazing place. Such an amazing place. I love the food. Miriam Carpio from Hong Kong. Hello. Willie Calma asking for my insight from Green. I got a lot of messages about Green, with a possible play that it could be connected to IRC and agri-nurture, that the value of IRC and agri-nurture is what will translate to the possible value of what Green is. I got probably more than 50 messages just on that topic alone. But here's the thing, and you know me, that I'm a very technical guy. It's hard to use technical analysis on Green if really there's no past data, there's no candlesticks that allow me to be able to analyze it. So for me, what I do know though is there's a large black candle which brought the stock to close at around 1.55, it being from 2.4. It had a large spike of volume. Once it started to hit 1.2, there was large amount of selling that brought it higher. But aside from that, I would want to wait before more data points in the chart will allow me to trade it. I'm not really a big fan of trying to guess where it will be. That's not my game. I know, I think there are other people successful in that. I'm really a chart person, so that's the biggest limitation of the chart. It bars you from news, and it bars you also if there's not really any data, given that the stock has been halted for a few months. Wala ka masyadong makukuha doon. Anyways, next. Page Aleman, good evening. Which is better for the long term, individual stocks or index fund? Answer to that is try both. You have to find out, kasi it's like asking to a friend who owns a farm. It's like asking what's a better crop to plant, cabbage or lettuce. To know, you have to see also different scenarios, different cases on which both will work. It also includes what your skill set is. So the difference lang though, when you go to the stock market, it requires more skills from your end. It will require more input to you, that you already have an ideology of what stocks you want to buy, how many percent of that stock you want to buy. Then if you're buying other stocks, how do you allocate the cash that you want to put? Then you start allocating the cash that you want to put. The question of timing will also be in effect. You buy a stock now, when do you actually sell it? When do you add some more? When do you actually sell? How many portions of what you own are you supposed to sell? Aside from how many portions of what you own are you supposed to sell? Do you sell everything? Do you sell half? So more details will come if you want to buy your own stocks. More analysis will come when you want to trade and invest the markets on your own. So my answer to that is this: try both and try to see what works for you. Try both and try to see if you are earning more from index funds. Go for index fund. If you're earning more from individual stocks, put more in individual stocks, but you can maintain both. There's such and if for those who've been watching my videos, both YouTube and Facebook for years, there's such a stigma that you can only pick one and not the other. You have to remember individual stocks plus index fund plus bonds plus REITs, real estate, and all of those other investments. They're all assets. They're all there to help you. The more you have of those, the better. Agreeable that some will underperform than the other, but I rather that you try everything and you find what works for you, because that's when you find what works for you, it will allow you to have the confidence and the conviction to make more money in. So I have some friends who's making a killing on real estate. I'm not a real estate person. That's not my strength. I'm really a stock market guy. So meaning, if I have more money, my passive income will come from dividends. So let me give an analogy. My friend, he makes money from buying properties. He lets it go via capital appreciation, but his passive income comes from other rentals that he gets from it. Mine, I earn more. I grow my money using the stocks, both local, US, and Singapore, to be able to grow my portfolio. But I use REITs, bonds, stocks with high dividends for purchase where I get passive income. That's my rental income. So the question is, what do I use for my daily living? I use passive income from dividends, interest to fund my day-to-day. Everything else, the businesses that I put, the stocks that I have, even especially yung US denominated, because you don't really swap that back to peso. They're really there for growth as well. So it depends on what your strategy is. But my strategy is to live off the dividends and the interest, and to use the market naman, the growth stocks, for it to be there, to be able to just grow for the long term. So I hope I answered your question, Peach Alman. Next, Rainier from Manila. Hello to you from Marikina. Ramil Sanggalang, sir, ilang araw na tumataas ang PSC sa pag-open, umangat ang BDO pag closing naging red na bakot kaya, sir? Are you asking about BDO or the PSC? I please give me more context on that so I can answer it properly. Michael Mendoza Be from Singapore, I hope to see you again. By the way, guys, StockSmart Singapore will be November, when the end of the last weekend of November. So for you guys who are in Singapore that want to learn more about stocks, join us, and I hope to meet you. You have Jerry Gungab, 1.5 hours from work from Pampanga. Wow, I salute you guys. No, for those who are working, for those who travel 1 to 2 hours one way and then another 1 to 2 hours going home. You guys are doing something that I hope personally. That's why I love stocks. I love entrepreneurship. I love everything that's online, because it allows me to skip the traffic. It allows me to skip all of the driving that's going on. But to you guys who are braving the traffic every day, being responsible in your job, just do it. As long as what you know, you believe what you're doing is amazing, what you believe what you're doing is something that makes you feel happy, then go for it. Noel Cabahog, sabi niya, Ani. By the way, guys, since this is not stocks by request, please mention your specific question on the stock and what do you want to specifically know about it. Better sana if the more specific the question is, the better. So at least I have context on what you guys want to know as well. So to Novel Cabahog and Paul Santos asking for both Annie and Meg, please give me more context on your question so we could answer it properly. Mercy Samontes, hello to you. Solitario Axel from Doha, good evening. Mikey Ceredrica, can you give me more details on your question on tags? Next is Patrick Wong. Why do you think that the more specific the question, the better? Patrick Wong is asking, why do you think the index went up 1.02% today? I mentioned this in a video posted in YouTube as well. By the way, for those who are also new, the canned videos, the ones that are a bit edited, are all in YouTube, while the live videos are the ones that are in Facebook. So it's the more interactive ones, the more where you get to ask questions, are the ones that will be posted in Facebook. Yeah, there. Why is it up? Basically, based on the video that I posted, it's up because number one, there's a support at 6.8 where it bounced from. There's a resistance at 7 where it broke out from. Now 7 becomes the new support. It's gonna go up because the next resistance is at 7,500. For those who follow our ideologies in technical analysis, it's basically a stock will gravitate towards next resistance after a certain bounce has happened. So the tenet of technical analysis is we don't question why, but we see the reaction of the market, why it has actually bounced and moved up. So for me, as long as it doesn't near 7.5 yet, I think it will still go up until it reaches 7,500 for the midterm. And that's what's amazing about it. That's why I don't chase news. I don't chase rumors, because everything you need to know is found in the charts. Next, hi Sir Marbs, what are your insights regarding the upcoming telco? Who will have the highest chance winning the slot? I actually don't know. It can swing either way. I actually don't know also. Will it be either the one that has the largest money, the largest capital base, the best strategy, or the one that's the government? I don't know. But there's one thing I know. The one who will come in, and I've been consistent in saying this over the past few months, is that the one who will be the third telco will bleed money over the next few months and even years. They will lose money for the next few months and years. But what it does is it will make it a competitive space now that there's 3 players. The winner here will be the consumer. The loser here over the mid to long term will still be the third telco, because they will lose money, they will bleed money. It will take a lot of years before they become profitable. Will there be any will the hype and the excitement of the winner bring its price up? Probably, but I will buy it should the charts confirm it. I will buy it when there's confirmation in the charts already. Like for example, here moved up because of the context of it could possibly be the third player. It's not a third player yet, but breakouts from specific areas from 3, 6, 7, which brought it all the way up to 17. For those who use our moving averages technique and also our oscillators, I would have found strategic buy signals on those areas. So that's how I do it. No, I don't bet on Quest winning best chance, but I will bet on number one, what the charts dictate. But if you want to answer from a fundamental perspective, I will still pick Globe for the very fact that look at what they're doing. They're already locking in either their broadband or their cell phones to 2-year contracts. So what does that mean? If the third player comes in and you have a lot of your postpaid plans locked in to 2-year deals, a lot of them won't switch yet. It will take a harder time for them to actually switch from their number. And you have to remember the context. The problem with that is this: my phone is connected already to my banking accounts, my email, Facebook, everything else, and it becomes a hassle. There's what you call a cost of switching, that it becomes too hard for you to switch from what you already have. So what I think Globe and possibly PLDT will do is that if the third player comes in, whatever the price that the third player will put, tatapatan lang nila, bababaan lang nila, because they already have a more established network. Again, the winner here is the consumer. It doesn't translate in the third player winning. It will also translate in Globe and PLDT having to lower their prices to beat the third player, that their margins will also be lower. So I hope I answered that question. Please comment below if it's something that helped you. Peach Alman, you're welcome. Karen Cleophas, Sir Marvin now po, please make the question more specific, no? Like what trends the Songlo as well. Again, since this is about stocks by request, I'd appreciate the more, I guess, specific the question is, so we can answer it directly. Frankie Sang, good evening to you. Please also comment from where are you guys from. Marie Francisco, what about MBT? Please make your question more specific. Lopez Narel, good evening to you. Elisa Hoxon, what about ETF? So if this is connected to the question about index fund, ETFs are amazing. It's not as the ETF. I have ETFs, no, but not the ETFs here in the local market. I have ETFs Let me give you context. A few years ago, I was heavily invested in China. When the U.S. economy wasn't as good, I was positioned more in China. But since I didn't know a lot about the Chinese market as compared to the transparency that you have in the U.S. markets, where you have amazing brands like Nike, Starbucks, Disney, then you have your Apples, your Amazons, your Googles, your Teslas that everyone knows. In China, no one knows what majority of the companies are. So what I did was I just bought ETFs that were exposed into China. What I like about ETFs also is you can buy a gold ETF that exposes you to gold. So gold for me really is a hedge. I like gold for the very fact that again, I'm not after it for growth, because I know growth can be made in the markets, in stocks in particular. I like stocks because it gives me dividends, but gold does not give me any dividend at all. So it's just really for hedging purposes. It's really just kung meron kang sobra above and beyond what you have in the stock market, or if you have a business and you just want to hedge further, gold is a way to do it, and a gold ETF allowed me to have the liquidity with the same exposure to gold on a certain level. So that's it. Ross Sevilla, good evening to you. Irisa Hoxton from Parañaque City. TJ Wong. Joe Lagrardo Shao watching from Rome. Wow, Rome. Best pasta, pizza, and gelato ever, with such a relatively good price, and as compared to everything else in Europe, Rome has, Italy in general, has the best food. So, Sir Marvin, what do you think about the AP bond issuance? Is it good? Is it a good investment? Is this the 8.1? If it's the 8.1, I got it. I was able to get it, but I think that was Aboitiz Equity Ventures, not Aboitiz Power. No, but generally speaking, every time a bond gets offered to me, I try to get it. More so because of the passive income that I get from it. For those who watched the start of the video, there was a question about what I use for daily expenses. I use passive income from interest from bonds, LTN CDs, REITs, preferred shares, and stocks with common stocks with high dividends. So every time there's an opportunity for me to get bonds, every time there's something new that's released, I go for it. 8.1 is higher. I think next year, as interest rates would continue to go up, the next tranche of interest rates that would be given out would entail higher interest rates. So if you're okay that when you get something now, next year there might be more with higher yields, and you can live with it, and you don't plan to sell it, you just want to get it for the passive income, by all means go for it. By all means, just keep on going and investing in it as well. Next, what's this? Japnot's Game Farm is the infrastructure. What infrastructure? Please give me context on what that is. Then you have Willie Calma for asking about JFC. Willie Calma is asking about JFC. Average ko 279, mabenta ko kaya within 300 this month. Again, the interesting about the stock market is we don't have a crystal ball to figure out where it will be. We can't guess where the price will be. But what I do know, just looking at the chart of Jollibee, since I don't have a share screen function right now, is that I do know it has broken out of 271. It has broken out of the 271 resistance level, and if you follow the previous videos, that has become quite a medium-term support for the stock. Price and momentum oscillators, Willie Calma for Jollibee, is denoting that there's a change in direction upward. Plus, aside from the change in direction upward, the stock is still bullish for the short, mid, and long term. So that's what's interesting about it. Will it hit 300 within the month? I don't know, but what I know is there's a resistance at 300 that if it fails to break out of the 300 level, I really believe that there could possibly be selling that could cause it to go down. If it breaks out of 300, then Jollibee will now challenge its highest high. If it breaks and continues past that, we will see Jollibee probably hit 320 325 to 330 levels for the short term. So key thing to watch out for is 290 is the 300 and the highest level for Jollibee. Above and beyond that, let's see how it will go. But rest assured, no, I'm gonna update you on the happenings of Jollibee and how we could actually make it work, and for those who are trading it, how you can actually win in it as well. Next, you have Franklin Regala Santos. Good evening from Dubai. Is it possible to attend technical analysis training without fundamental analysis? Oh, is this a question for Stock Smarts in Dubai? The answer to that is basically this. Our technical sessions are not connected in with fundamentals, because technicals and fundamentals are different topics altogether, meaning we have technicals to answer the question, when do you come in? It answers the question of timing. It answers the question of I have cash, I want to buy the stock. Do I sell now? Do I hold now? Or do I buy now? Or if I already own the stock, do I add some more or do I hold? Or if you own the stock already, it also answers the question, should I continue to hold, or is this a proper reversal for me that I could already sell the stock as well? Then fundamentals is totally different, Franklin Santos from Dubai, because it answers above in the more than 200 plus stocks that we have in the PSE. Which among them will I just watch? What do I mean by that? You don't have to buy, watch, or look at every stock around there. Fundamentals will filter it out. That you don't have to watch the sucky stocks. You don't have to watch stocks that aren't doing so well. You don't have to watch the stocks that are not performing fundamentally from a macroeconomic sector and from a company ratio standpoint. You buy only the ones that are fundamentally sound. So meaning the 100 plus stocks that I don't think are good enough, I don't have to watch. And that's what fundamentals does. Since they're not connected, do they help you in both? Of course they do. You have to remember that your knowledge in both of them will help you structure a way that you can win in the market. So depending on what your availability is, go for it. Yannick Slasea, hello to you. Then you have Alejandro Villa, yes, 300 point. Green pretty much jumped from where it was before. Then it started to retrace with a large red candle. Again, that's how it is based on what sentiment brings. So I think that's the thing of how news and how actionable items from the news could actually move a stock. It could pin it from one direction to the other. So there. But for me, I stayed away from it because it wasn't really a play that I'm accustomed to. I'm not really a person who buys just based on news. And for me, for those who are making money off of it, that's amazing. Because ayun ganun talaga. We be happy when other people are rejoicing and making money as well. Marie Benitez asking for SM Prime. Please give me something specific about it so that I have full context on what you need to know and what you are wanting to know from the stock as well. Godfrey Russell, let me look for your question. My browser is acting up not so well. Let me look. Okay, what's your year-end forecast for the PSEI? Godfrey, just look back to this video as well. I'm really a technical person. I mentioned it prior to this, just a few, I guess 10 or 15 minutes back. What I believe the range is, and why do I believe the market's still bearish, and what will cause it to move up higher. But to directly answer your question, we are still at a range between 6875 or 7075 with no indication yet of any possible reversal going on. Christy Frial from New Zealand. Whoa, madaling araw na dyan. How come you're still tuned in? Joseph Dano, please give me specific question. Please make your question more specific about ISM so at least I know. Ronald Dipuado, are you using trend software for your trades? No, I just use a normal charting software. It's called Chartexus. It's based in Singapore. So mano, I don't have any automated screener. I just really have a list of stocks that I want to look at every day. Then simple lang. If there's a buy signal on the stocks that I'm watching, I buy. If all of them doesn't have a buy signal, then I just stay away. It's having the discipline to be able to know what you're good at. It's having the discipline also to being tempered that when nothing's telling you to buy, I just stay away. It's how I go about it. So if any of them has a buy signal, one of them has a buy signal, I study that, and if it's compelling enough for me, that's when I start to buy it. Erisa Hoxon, thank you. You're welcome, very welcome. Marie Benitez from Hong Kong, how about SM Prime? Again, please make your question more specific. Renz, dissing low. Let's say Udena Corp won the bidding. What stocks will benefit more, CLC or ISM? Sentiment might bring both up, but Chelsea, I haven't really seen if Chelsea has any involvement in what do you call this, in the telco bid. But if they're purely using ISM, and ISM is the direct company represented that will win, there will be a lot of sentiment towards ISM. But just to add also, it doesn't mean that they win. The stock will go up, because you have to remember the stock market is a forward-looking market. It could be also that prior to that, all of the telco stocks start going up because of people anticipating or analyzing it different, or people trying to go ahead of the curve. And then when the news comes out, it starts to drop. Or also, if it's not, please remember also that it's all about perception, what people think, analyze, and believe the stock is. That's how they will push, and that's how they will go for it. So will it be something that will cause people to buy? It could be. Will it be something that will go up? I don't know, or how big or how low it will go, depending on what the sentiment will be for the stock. But rest assured, as it progresses, and even a slight semblance of what it could be, based on the news or the charts, I'll keep you updated. But again, from a tech aspect, it bounced from 229. All price and momentum oscillators are saying ISM is still bullish. It broke out from 277, and its resistance now is pegged at around 3.6 pesos per share. So why is this significant? You saw it 1, 2, 3, 4 days prior to this, that because it failed to break out 3.6, that's why you're seeing a slowdown. Probably if the selling may continue, it might test and go down to around 3 pesos. But one thing that you need to watch out for is there's a resistance at the 3.6 level that you need to at least follow and respect, because if the stock does not break out of 3.6, you might expect more set. You might expect bigger selling that could cause the stock to go lower. So with that also, if it breaks out though from 3.6, possible breakout point will bring it to around, for those who followed our theory on ranges during breakouts, the next target price will be around 4.5 pesos for the midterm as well. Next one, let's see. Catherine Estel, you're very much welcome. Johan Isidro, top fan, hello to you. Sir, do you think an index can go up to 7,300? Yeah, pretty much, because I believe that the main resistance is at 7,500. So what we can't guess is if it will happen tomorrow or it will happen in the next few days. But should the normal upward movement happen, and it will try to challenge 7,573, will be pretty much in it. Marie Benitez, please make your Marie Benitez is asking for SMPH. Again, please make it more specific. San Quintas, please make your question about MRC also more specific, since this is not stocks by request. Godfrey Brazil, you're very much welcome. Jolo Largado, sir, good evening. My question is, if 50,000 initial in stock, do I have to split it in one or two stocks, or just focus on stock? What's your intention? First of all, is your intention to learn, or is your intention really to earn? If your intention is just to learn the ropes, I suggest I use a smaller amount with that as practice first, and buy several stocks until I gain my strategy that's useful for me. But if your intention is to earn, your intention is to maximize it, just buy one stock. The larger your position, the more urgency you will put for you to study it, and the larger your position also, the bigger the yields that you will have for it. So if you will split that pa, sayang naman. Better put effort into practicing and learning than just splitting it and not get much traction and yield as well. Next, Benny Castillo, how do I register for the Singapore seminar? Please tag me again while this video is running. Then after this video, I'll just send you the link on how you can register for the seminar. So thank you so much. For those who are asking also for the events, and there's a lot of people asking. I just have 4 seminars left for the year. It will be Davao, Dubai, Singapore, and Manila. So those will all be technical, fundamental basics of the market. And also for Manila, we have top 10 stocks for 2019. It's a fun event where I invite some analyst friends who would give their insights on what they believe a good stock will be for 2019 as well. Next, Marvin Martin, please make your question about now more specific so we can answer it. Sir, do you trade other markets? Oh yeah, I do Singapore and US markets. I was trying to do Australia. I didn't just have time to open an account when I was there, but when I was studying also some of the stocks, some of the stocks that I knew that had good brands, though their fundamentals weren't as good as the brands that I liked in the Philippines or the ones that I liked in Singapore or in the States. A lot of good stocks in Australia were mining companies. So from a fundamental perspective, I'm not really an expert on mining. The best thing that I could do for those stocks was just use technicals and trade them. But that's for another day again. But yeah, Singapore and US. Sir Marvin from Gibraltar, UK. Wow, I've only been the furthest that I've been in UK from one direction, I think, was Stonehenge. Then I went to Westminster Abbey. Yeah, I was at the castle area. Now you have to take a 2-hour train ride. I think that's the furthest. Question, po ba long term yung hotel? Thanks and God bless. I'm not a big fan. I like companies that are good and growing. PLDT is declining. Actually, the sell signal from a fundamental standpoint, when PLDT was 3,000 plus, when its income started to mature already. So now PLDT is not actually maturing, but it's declining. So not a big fan of stocks that are declining. That's why I like to do better, because it's increasing, capturing market share, beating competition, and it's moving fast, doing fast. And I think since they are really heavy on data and they have Gcash, which is becoming widely accepted here in the Philippines, I think that will be their biggest upside in the stock. I hope I can join the seminar next time in London. Yeah, I'll please comment your email below so we can add you to the mailing list when we start doing the London seminar. Hopefully we get to do it. Last year I had so much fun in the London seminar early this year lang. Lani Lenny, what can you give Lani Lenny from where are you? Please give me context on your question. On what insights are you asking? Please make your question more specific. Marvin Martin, when are you coming to Japan? We're cooking up something, hopefully second week of January 2019. I know it's cold there. It will be freezing, but we're planning to do it somewhere either in the Kawasaki or the Tokyo region. Again, please also comment your email below so we add you to the mailing list as well. Ashokabake Ryan, hello to you. JJ Fiesta, good evening. Ashokabake Ryan, please comment the specific question about tags. No, the more specific, the better it is for me to answer it. So, kailan po yung event about the best stocks for 2019? May details ka po. Please tag me also right after this, Jonel Dorde, so I can give you the details on how you can attend that as well. El Ruerto, you're welcome. Lani Panga din ng seminar. With that, Lani Lenny, is that
Jericho Rosales.
our problem with that, Lani Lenny, is how do I put this? How do I put this, Lani Lenny? Number one, a lot of the people from Pampanga are attending our Manila session. So the most logical scenario is that you could go to Manila, because I think our Pampanga seminars will be pretty much connected to the ones in Manila. What's your question about Chinese characters? I really can't understand this. Gioval on Azul, what particular stocks in Singapore have you invested? I'm pretty much there for REITs, and I like the ones that allow me exposure to some stocks that are not here in the Philippines. Example, I like ST Engineering there because it's exposed to weapons, machinery. It's more a war company that specializes on some stuff, some businesses that I can't really buy here in the Philippines. So that's why I like gold ETFs that can be bought in Singapore, and it's because it's not available here in the Philippines. Our REITs have been passed already here, but it's just put into law, but it really hasn't been done yet. Next, is it safe to buy MRC? I'll throw the question back to you again, San Quintas. What is your context of safe, so that we have a level playing field on the answer for that? Zo Cavaldilla, again, please make your question about PLC more specific. Mary of Lada, please make your question about Jollibee more specific. Mary Francisco, insights on forex trading. If you know technicals, the same rules for stock trading will work for forex trading. Do I trade forex? I don't. It's not my cup of tea. It's weird, no, that I'm saying it's not my cup of tea when I'm into cryptos, which is more, which is riskier than forex. So, will it work? If you know what you're doing, if you know how to read the charts well, and if you're okay with the volatility of it, forex is okay for you. That's why you need to know what your context is. Next is Marie Francis, Jillian Joanne. Is MPI okay for the long term? MPI is a defensive company. If you look at the companies that they have there, if the businesses are run well, they won't go bankrupt. They're very defensive, and they've shown a track record of increasing earnings still. So I like them for the long term. Jeremy Maligaya from Singapore, good evening. Looking forward to see you at the end of the month. Espuljar Kevin, please give me the context of your question for BPI. Jerome Tamoyosa from Win, again, please give me context as well. I guess that's it. So many questions, no. I have to put this to an end. Also, we're at, I think, the 26 plus minute, 30-minute point already for this video. So that's it for now first, but we'll continue this. Some of them I'll try to answer also offline, but I hope this video helps you trade well, trade smart, guys. Keep on trading, keep on hustling, keep on studying. The way you get good at investing, the way you become good at trading is to allocate money for it, try it, invest it, and be all in, not just now, but for the long term as well. See you all. God bless you. Have a good night.